States, outgoing Oregon Democratic Governor Kate Brown has commuted the sentences of all 17 people on death row to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Governor Brown called the death penalty dysfunctional and immoral. In Kentucky, the city of Louisville has agreed to pay $2 million to settle two lawsuits filed by Kenneth Walker, the boyfriend of Breonna Taylor, who was shot and killed in her own home during a 2020 police raid. Walker was with Taylor the night of the fatal shooting and fired a shot at police as they burst into Taylor's home while serving a no-knock warrant. Walker had said the officers never identified themselves before entering the home and never attempted to save Breonna Taylor as she lay dying after she was struck by a hail of gunfire. Charges against Walker, including attempted murder of a police officer, have been dropped.
So he won the suit. They gave him $1 million and they didn't charge him with attempted murder. So it's like, oh, this is a victory. So, but I don't see it as that at all. Breonna Taylor is still dead. They still do the no-knock warrants. Nothing has changed. That's the reason why I don't like the way it's set up, where it's like, oh, just sue them. I'm going to sue them. I'm going to sue your ass. But that these corporations or whatever have money and they have a budget for this, nothing changes. The same thing happens to somebody else. If this hadn't blown up with the hashtag justice for Breonna or whatever the hashtag was, then old buddy would probably still be locked up right now with the attempted murder charge of a police officer. And nobody would say anything. They would assume he did it and he would stay there. He would do his time. You know what I'm saying? And how many other situations are just like this that didn't get a hashtag, and there's some dude sitting in prison right now with almost the exact situation? I'm sure, without a freaking doubt, because they do these no-knock warrants all the time, and it's really crazy. How would you know? I just saw a video. It really had me upset earlier this week because it was on Instagram, I want to say, and it was a guy. He was like an Indian guy. He looked Indian, like as far as like from India, but it was here in the States. And this guy was a rich guy. He owned some kind of company or whatever, software or something. And he was away from his home for a period of time, like a vacation or whatever he was doing. He came back after weeks later, and he thought that it was someone in his house. Like he thought his house was getting robbed. And he had some kind of rifle. It had a shoulder strap. And in the video, you can see he, because it was the camera, his home camera, like, at the same time they're playing the video, because it lines up with the 911 call where the neighbor was calling and explaining what was happening. And like, this is his guy. This is this guy's house. He apparently thinks somebody is robbing. He just let off a shot. You can see in the video, pow. It's like, I don't know. I guess he was tripping. He made, and he shot into his house, and then he did another shot. And the police showed up, told him drop the weapon, and fired on him, killing him. And he was like, his last words was, "You got the wrong guy." And what's so killer about that is on the 911 call, and the guy was explaining that this guy is the guy who owns the house, and the you could hear the lady doing the dispatch to the cops, the way that they do it as she was taking the 911 call. And it's like, I don't understand how, where's the communication, what loss at that point? What happened for the cop to show up and just straight up pop this guy? He's on his own property. This is his house. He's defending his house. Like, he's doing what you're supposed to do, right? This was in Texas too. This was in Texas. This is, what did he do wrong? And the cops come, boop, boop. They popped him like 3 times. He died. And then they handcuffed him. That's the part that really freaking, like ate me up. Like as he was laying there dying, they was handcuffing him. His gun was like 3 feet away because when they popped him, the gun fell way out of his reach. And he's dying. Why handcuff him? So overboard. Why not try to save him? They wasn't doing that either. Anyways, they doing these talking about I'm gonna sue this people. That is not the answer. That allows the status quo to continue the same way and nothing changes. And anyways, where do you think the money came from for this particular one? Because it was with the police. This probably came out of the tax dollars. This probably came out of the city budget or whatever the hell. So didn't even hurt no one because it didn't come out of nobody's actual pocket. It came out of the taxpayer's pocket. This is not a win.